A few days ago, we had the privilege of exclusively revealing the fact that US Congressman Trent Franks was to join the board of directors of the Khalistan Caucus Foundation. Unsurprisingly, this has been met with an overwhelmingly positive reaction from both inside and outside the Sikh community, that a senior US politician would join this organisation at board level to help steer its direction and strategy. But this move by Congressman Franks is more than simply just a US congressman joining in the democratic fight to establish a sovereign homeland for the Sikh community that is so long overdue. It's sending a seismically powerful message from the democratic world to India, and indeed to the very heart of its ruling elite. Since 1947, the Brahmanical control of India has successfully endured since inheriting the colonial collection of so many separate identities, languages and cultures that make up what we know as India today. A relatively young nation, only 77 years old, India remains a collection of separate regions loosely held together by a struggling central control, heavily reliant on the historic and evil caste system that has been outlawed in name only. But the system still holds this artificial construct of India together through top-down control, where every stakeholder clings on to their precarious place within its pyramidical structure, except of course the lowest caste. Hundreds of millions of Dalits who suffer their daily humiliation under this system of effective modern slavery have no say to end their perpetual plight. And it is this deep social injustice that nurtured the greatest existential threat to Brahmanical control, the philosophy of Sikhi, and its hundreds of millions of followers who from the very first guru saw this system for what it was and summarily rejected it. Instead, believing that all of us who share this planet are born as equals and must be treated thus. And it is this philosophy that stands as the deepest obstacle to its continuance. It is this philosophy that has made the Sikh community such a powerful threat to the ruling elite of India. Because they know that not only does Sikh philosophy offer a much more attractive and beneficial way of life to the hundreds of millions of ordinary Indians, particularly those of lower caste, the Sikh community carries within it the genes of a warrior people honed through centuries of warfare and conquest that forged a community unafraid of taking on anyone, however powerful, who wield injustice to bring them down. And it is for this that the Indian ruling elite have, for decades, turned on this community to try to destroy it, to bury it forever, and remove this threat to their dominant control. They turned Punjab into bloody killing fields, where a whole generation of young men were murdered in cold blood. They sank to humanity's lowest levels by perpetrating genocides to try to rid themselves of this enduring threat. And yet, here we are, as 2025 arrives, the Sikh community remains resilient, robust, stronger than ever. Despite every weaponised threat used against the community, legal or illegal, whether imprisoning its leaders who stood up in Punjab, extrajudicially killing its campaigners, even on foreign soil, whether infiltrating its organisations to try to tear them apart from within, or deliberately pouring the evil flow of drugs into Punjab to destroy the younger generation. The Sikh community still stands tall. It stands stronger than ever. And ironically, India's authoritarian hand at trying to beat the community down has instead fanned the flames of peaceful democratic revolution. Sikhs in both the Punjab and around the world have broadcast their message, and it has been heard. Their cry has been heard across the democratic world, and the democratic world has rallied to that cry. Because now the eyes of the world have turned on the ruling elite of India and are asking questions. So, when a senior US congressman such as Trent Franks joins the Khalistan cause, this is not just sending a message to the Indian government that the train of democracy always reaches its destination in the end. It is reminding Narendra Modi's government that they are becoming increasingly isolated the longer they ignore the Khalistan question. And our message to the Honourable Prime Minister of India is very simple. Why continue this pointless battle to destroy the Sikh nation? It is a battle that is unwinnable, as the last 77 years have proven. Because no matter how many tens of thousands of Sikhs they have killed, whose blood stains the parched soil of Punjab, or even last year in a parking lot in Canada, the rallying concept of Khalistan doesn't just endure, it grows stronger. The referendum is proving that democracy is alive and the people are shouting. And the message is clear. The Sikh people want Khalistan. So why resist it? Why not be the better man? Be the heroic leader of India who does indeed lead the world's largest democracy and grant the people of Punjab their democratic voice. Let them have their referendum. And if they choose to establish Khalistan, as is most likely, then let it stand as testament to not just the fundamental goodness and democratic principles of a Sikh nation, but let it stand as a powerfully supported friend and ally to India, forging the hand of friendship that can then endure across future generations. India has the power to turn this war into something else, into a moment of opportunity for all of its people, where everyone wins. And Prime Minister Modi can go down in history as the leader who made this happen. Surely a legacy the whole democratic world would salute.